David Henry Hwang's M Butterfly contains many lessons about life and culture, but the three main things that intertwine themselves throughout the story, sexism, racism, and imperialism, they are the driving forces between Song and Gallimard's relationship, and the issues that drive the story. Gallimard is a French military man, and Song is, well, we'll find out who exactly Song Liling is later. Gallimard's stereotypes of sexism, racism, and Western power blind him to Song's manipulation of him. In one popular rendition of M. Butterfly, Gallimard is played by John Lithgow. Yes, the nerdy old man with the screeching voice. Oh, she's so delicate. Even I could protect her. Take her home. Pamper her until she smiled. That would be real nice. Here Gallimard refers to Song, a woman he saw performing in the Chinese opera. He is amazed by her beauty and grace. He approaches her 4 weeks later, and he cannot resist the temptation of interacting with this delicate Chinese woman. Throughout most of Act One, Song and Gallimard establish the fundamental differences of the Western culture and Song's own Eastern culture. Imperialism is one of the most important themes in this story. In fact, it is the one that the story hinges on. Song will exploit Gallimard's preconceived ideas about Chinese culture to her advantage. Gallimard is susceptible to Song's manipulation due to how he views the different ranges of power in the East and West. Song describes his view of the East and West well in Act 3. The West thinks of itself as masculine, big guns, big industry, big money. So the East is feminine, weak, delicate, poor, but good at art and full of inscrutable wisdom, the feminine mystique. It is in these ways that Gallimard believes that he, in some way, deserves to be a dominant Western man over a submissive Eastern woman, or what he believes to be the ideals of a woman. Gallimard gets to this point by seeing Song through his tunnel vision of his Western views on power. He gains these views from his perceptions on how a woman, and more specifically, a Chinese woman, should act. So at this point we know that Gallimard totally has the hots for Song, and that she has some form of the hots for him. At this time, the narrator, Gallimard, takes a break from obsessing about Song and has a chat with his oldest friend Mark. Hey Gallimard, do you remember the time I asked Isabel to have sex with you outside the bushes at school? It was your first time, right? It was very nice. Gallimard's first experience with a woman is one that would forever force him to look at women as objects, nothing more than a piece of meat, and right now he was craving a medium rare portion of Song. In Gallimard's favorite play, Madame Butterfly, Gallimard wants to be like Pinkerton, sweeping the foreign butterfly off her feet so that she may submit to his every desire. It is now obvious that Gallimard is obsessed with getting Song, a delicate Chinese woman, to submit to him and to be the mistress of his dreams. Gallimard eventually seduces Song, and then they engage in a 10-year-long love affair full of sexual escapades. However, Gallimard overlooks one, very important detail about Song. She's actually a man. Yep, Gallimard's beautiful butterfly is actually a guy, with all the guy parts. But he would have known, right? Wrong. Like any person in denial, sometimes the small act of admitting to or verbalizing something will suddenly make it real. So he never thinks that Song is a man, or sees proof that Song is a man. So she's not a man, right? Yeah, he should be okay. The reason that Gallimard is so adamant about keeping Song is the fact that he is too stubborn and in too much denial to leave this exotic fantasy. He finally has a Chinese woman to submit to his every command. He would not give that up for anything. That poor ignorant man. He would lie with me, whispering, bragging about his military secrets, trying to impress me with them. He did not know that I took all of those secrets and provided them to my own government. Poor, sick man. Throughout the play, Huang uses lighting to create suspense, mood, and thought of continuity. Often the stage will go dark, just as the characters are going to engage in something questionable. This leaves the reader or the audience member to fill those gaps with their imagination. They use the information given for each character to figure out what they are most likely doing when the lights are down. Huang does a good job at acknowledging the problems of imperialism, racism, and sexism. Gallimard, the offender of all these things, finds that they are the reason for his demise. The fact that the whole country of France didn't understand how he couldn't tell Song was a woman proves that the basis of their relationship hinged on Gallimard's fragile views of these stereotypes. The fact that a normal person is appalled by this situation is because that person did not see the world in the same way that Gallimard saw it. Huang shows us that a person who sees through filters of incorrect stereotypes can damage friends, family, themselves, and a country, and wind up in a bed with a man. Everything